Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up. Yeah, stay out all night. But sure, I've had some better times.
Well, it looks like we're connected to the butt. Looks like the butt is moving. Podtrack is moving up and down. Streamlabs is moving side to side. And it looks like the butt is not in the red. No red butts today.
Red butts? Red butts means you were getting spanked.
It's not. We're okay. It's green. It's yellow. No red butt. Because then if it gets red butt, Trippy goes, you're distorted. You're all distorted. You're in the red.
Ow.
I don't think we're in the red. No red butts today. Everything's moving how it's supposed to. Welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast, broadcasting 200 feet below occupied California.
Well, good morning.
Not too many more. Are we going to talk soft today? I'll talk soft if you want to talk soft. I can.
You don't know how to talk
You're
soft.
talking so far away from your mic, and you're
You know
being
what?
quiet. That
You
I
know
don't
what?
think- What?
Stay in your lane.
Are we going to have a quiet? I'll have a quiet podcast. I can do quiet podcast.
You haven't been quiet in 50 years.
I could be quiet today.
No, you can't. No, you
So
can't.
this is, I don't know how many. Well, how many more times are we broadcasting from the KGXT studios in occupied California?
I don't know. Hopefully not many.
You know what we need to do?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, you do. You got this in your mind. You just don't know it yet.
Okay.
We need to have, we need to get you all doped up so you can be out here for a long time.
Wow.
And we need to have one big last bottom of the glass show from here with everybody over. Two Bear needs to come up. Low Torque needs to come over. Trippy Pineapple. We just need to have it for like a 4-hour last one.
We'd have to do it on a Saturday.
As we're moving out. Yeah. As we're leaving. That needs to be the last one we do as a big one. Have a bunch of drinks, order a bunch of food. Yeah, we got to do that. It's
Okay,
the last one
plan
forever.
it.
We can't come back and do it later.
Well, plan it.
I'm not the plan. You're the
planner.
This is your department.
I don't know when we're going to be here in California and when we're going to be in
Well,
Nevada.
okay.
That's your department.
I can tell you the dates. I'll figure out a date. But after that, the rest is on you.
What do I have to do?
Make sure we have enough chairs, enough napkins.
Everything's
we have to
gone.
have balloons and party favors. We have to make sure we get the invitations sent out. You know what, those invitations where you kiss the envelope with your red lips and go, hope you can make it.
And put perfume on it,
Yeah.
so when you open it up, it just smells. Will that get people here?
That's what I'm saying. You got to do that, and you got to send out the invitations. And I don't think you should cater it necessarily, but you could, we could order a bunch of pizzas or something. Let's just see who we can get
Wow,
here.
like a total frat party.
I'm telling you, aren't those some of the best ones? Is when we had the whole
Got
place
a lot
full?
of alcohol.
We do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to get rid of it. We're not
Yes, we
taking it
do.
with us, so we either have to use it at a bottom of the glass show, or it's going to get left behind. It's
We'll
unfortunate.
leave it for the new owners.
That's right. What if they're not drinkers?
Then we're in trouble.
Then let's be fair. With our house in our backyard, if they're not drinkers, we should not be selling them this house.
That is absolutely true.
We should give a questionnaire
That's
to them
true.
before you even look at our house. Please fill out this questionnaire. Question number 4: do you drink?
Yeah, if we have like 2 or 3, we can send the questionnaire out after that.
That's
like
right.
2 or 3 people that are interested. Then we're gonna do a test.
So there's a story everybody's waiting for.
I understand that, but there are people checking in on KGXT Radio on Wordle. Oh my gosh, on Discord.
Okay.
So say hello to everybody that's listening to us live.
Hello, everybody in Discord, listening live and checking in on the studio camera.
So those that are listening to the podcast on Friday morning, you can listen to us live, uncensored, Thursdays on kgxtradio.com, correct? So that's where everybody is today.
And they're watching on the studio camera. They can actually see what we're doing in here, looking at each other, talking.
Yeah, it's like looking over my shoulder.
It is. It really is. It's like peeking through a window. It's like a really tall window that everybody's looking down like, hey, they're doing the show. Let's crawl up on the window and look inside.
Yeah, I have to watch what I put up on my screen.
You do.
Actually, I have the Discord chat, so everybody can say hey.
So Boy, everybody knows we're moving from California to Nevada. We're moving from Bakersfield.
That's no surprise.
From Bakersfield, California to Minden, eventually Dayton. Everybody knows we bought some property in Dayton and we rented a house in
the last 3 weeks.
What's that?
Haven't we been moving the last month?
Well,
3 weeks?
I'm just trying to recap for someone who might be listening brand new.
Oh, well, okay,
so
continue
I'd appreciate it if you shut your fucking trap.
You know what?
So I can... Shh. So everybody knows we've been moving for the past 3 weeks. We're moving from Bakersfield, California to Minden, Nevada. We bought a piece of property in Dayton, and we rented a place for 2 years, 2-year lease, so we can have a place to live while we build a little home on the patch of ground in Dayton. And I think it's safe to say that the moving stuff has been an adventure. We are captivating U-Haul's famous line, adventures in moving. Because this was much easier when we were 30, and now we're 56, 57, 58. This is not good. Late 50s, you can definitely feel the strain versus when you're early 30s.
I'm feeling like that lady that you met a couple weeks ago in Minden. We should have flipped the switch and had some young guys come in here and move everything.
I can't even tell you. It would have cost us triple.
It didn't cost her very much.
She's getting one truck. For $17,000. Ours would have been a Mayflower moving van for 3 to 4 times that much.
Sure, we could have paid one of our trucker friends to do it.
No. Yeah.
Michael Dawson would have done it.
But you still would have had to load it everything. You still would have had to load it up.
But it would have been one shot.
I don't know. That truck would have been parked out in our front of our driveway, blocking the street for about a week while you loaded everything.
Not by much. Not by much.
So the continuing story, now you guys are going to have to follow along here.
But wait a second.
Okay.
I have a beef to pick with you right now.
What?
About moving.
Okay, what?
I want everybody to know that the general is a hoarder. A hoarder.
No.
He will not throw anything away.
Anything useful.
You know what I found up in our closet yesterday?
Yeah, what?
That I packed up and moved for the third time?
What? What are you talking about?
Check stubs. Check stubs. From Auto Clinic of Bend.
Oh, yeah, you don't need those.
Oh, really?
That's 22 years ago. Yeah, those can go.
I packed them because you told me to pack them.
No, you don't need. That's just nostalgia. You don't have
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's called stupidity, and you have every briefcase you ever owned.
Yes, I do have all my briefcases.
Why are we moving them from house to house?
Well, one I kept because it's where Jade, when she was a baby, threw up on it, and it stained a little corner of the outside of it, and it wouldn't come clean. So I kept it just because I remember that. It was like it's
in your brain. You don't need to keep it.
No, it reminds me. It's a reminder. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not hoarding. That's good stuff, man.
He won't throw anything away. I have taken the opportunity to go through a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I have given a lot to the kids, and there's still more because you're telling me all of a sudden just put everything in there, don't go through it.
Because you threw away some stuff of mine that was important.
It wasn't about you. This was about just stuff of the kids and my decorations. I was going to go through it. But now it's all going to Minden for the third move. And I guess I have to make myself pull a box out every week.
I'm sorry that I am not easily able to give up the wonderful memories of our life like you are.
You are your mother.
I'm sorry.
You're your mother.
I cannot discard our moments together. I cherish these things. I can't just skip over them. I can't throw our memories in the trash like you can.
I do have every love letter you ever sent me.
Now, that's something you could get rid of.
Oh, there's a difference.
Well,
every card.
Those might
You know what he used to do? I have to give, I'm telling this out in the air.
What?
If we went out to dinner somewhere and there was a coaster that he could write on, like cork or, cardboard or something. We went out to a bar or whatever. You would write or draw pictures on it for me and date it.
Yeah, during the
dinner.
Date. Yeah.
I have those.
You saved all those?
I have those. I used to throw them in my purse.
I just thought you left them on the bar and they got thrown away.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I used to write you little notes on them and draw little pictures on them and things. And, while we were during the date and give them to you. And I thought you just left those there. No. Really? You kept all those?
I kept all those.
Wow.
See, I do love you.
Well, or you love remembering the admiration I gave you.
Oh, brother. Contract negotiation next week.
This guy loves me.
Just so you know.
Here's a note.
7 days, 1 week.
Good. I want all those. I want all the letters I've written and all those things I've drawn.
On contract negotiation day?
I can present them as evidence to my undying love. Yeah.
No, you can't. I get to present it as evidence that I kept it this whole time.
If you keep something that tells you that someone loves you, that's not telling me you love me. That's telling you that you're loved. It's reminding you that you're loved by me.
That's not evidence because you didn't keep it.
No, I wrote it. You
don't get to go into somebody's house and go, oh, let me have their gun because, no.
Oh, my God.
No, it doesn't work that way.
I think if we submitted this to the jury, I think you would lose on that one.
He's a romantic. The general is a romantic.
Don't tell people that. My friends are listening.
I know. That's why I'm saying. I'm throwing dirt. What do the kids say? Throwing shade?
Throwing shade, yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
So there's a story you've all been waiting for, and now we can get back to it. After I was humiliated publicly, this is going in the transcript. When I contract negotiations, I'm going to present this as evidence to the court that she humiliated me in front of my friends. Oh, my God. All right.
Won't be the first time. Won't be the last.
I heard that, just so you know. I heard you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When you talk like this, I can still hear you.
That's okay. Story time. Go ahead.
All right. We're going to do story time at regular volume. We'll try to get her to amp up her regular volume when it's her turn to talk.
You want my big girl voice?
Yes, I need your big girl voice. Put that big black thing near your lips and let's go.
Hey.
Okay.
I've never had a big black thing next to my lips before.
Well, that explains the confusion.
I guess that's the first time for everything.
That explains the confusion at this moment. I understand. So in moving, we Dr. Shadowlight, the president of the Banana Sauce Union, was nice enough to loan us his covered trailer, his covered wagon, as it is, and he drove that from Texas to. We ended up in Arizona. We drove down to Arizona, and we picked it up from him, and we've been borrowing it and running stuff around ever since. Now. It came with 3 padlocks on it, one for a side door and 2 padlocks on the back. And they're hockey pucks. Now, before most of you go, oh, I have a round master lock also. No. I know you guys used to call those hockey pucks because they were round. No, this is a real hockey puck made by Master Lock. It's very difficult for me to try to get into. It's a very different lock. It looks good and it seems to be safe. But anyway, so you have the locks in the trailer. You lock up the trailer. When you're done, put the padlocks on, and away you go. Now, we all know that for the past, 10 years, we've been fighting with Briggs being lazy and forgetful. And I'm going to tell you a quick story just to put you in the mindset of him and a lot of teenagers just like him. If I had five tape measures on my toolbox, and I told him, grab a tape measure, go out and measure something. He would, and then he'd leave the tape measure outside. And the next day I'd go, hey, grab a tape measure and come over here. He'd walk up and say, ooh, one's missing. I must have left it outside yesterday. I should go find that. No. He just grabs the next tape measure and keeps going. And the next day grabs the next one. Same with my sockets. Just grabs the next socket, until you finally go, hey, dude, where'd all the tape measures go? I don't know. Yeah, he left them, and where's all my sockets?
And as I walk the property, I'm picking up tools and putting them back. I put them back on your workbench because I just put them.
But he leaves them because you know why he doesn't care? Because there's another one. I got another tape measure. I know where another one is. I don't need to worry about that socket. Dad's got another one. Let's go grab the next one. But because he's always had that mindset, and I can't beat it into him to change, what happens is he gets that lazy about everything. He doesn't have the value of how important a tape measure is or a socket because he didn't have to buy it and he doesn't have to buy the next one. So he does this with keys all the time. I can't find the keys to my truck because he has set them someplace or it's in his pocket in his dirty laundry. I'm like, when you come in the house, put the keys down, give my credit card back if you went and bought something for me.
Hence the fact that Mom puts a box or the key rack right there.
And as he walks in the door, you yell from across the house, where's the keys? Where's the card? Because he's not going to do it.
Yep, I constantly do that.
So you yell at him, where's the keys? Where's the card? He's like, oh, yeah, in my pocket. And he puts them down. Okay. You get the idea that we're trying to beat into him. And every kid his age or younger. By now, they're usually coming out of it where they're understanding the responsibility of buying stuff. So
I know what's amazing is he never loses the key to his truck.
No, he doesn't. He just knows they're going to be in the bottom of his laundry hamper, and away he goes.
It just amazes me. Okay.
So he goes. We were up in Minden. We just did a big load of stuff, put stuff away, we put some stuff in storage, and we put some stuff in the house. And then I sent him back over to the storage unit. He's getting very proficient at driving the trailer. He's better than any 19-year-old I've ever seen. He drove that trailer all the way from central Nevada all the way down to Southern California by himself like a pro. I mean, I don't know any of my friends at 19 who could have driven a trailer that far and not hit a car on the freeway or a pole pulling into a gas station. He is absolutely incredible at driving. I don't know. It's a gift. He's really good at it. So he takes it back.
Look at his parents.
Yeah, it's got good, strong parents, good genes. So we sent him from the house to the storage unit and said, hey, some of these things need to go in storage. He drives over to storage. He drives over to the Sun Valley Foxes, drops off the trailer, comes back home. Next morning, we all get up and we're ready to go.
We wanted to go early. We were planning on leaving early.
Yeah, we're just getting up. So now he's going to take his truck and go hook up to the trailer, and he's going to head down the road. Only he can't find the trailer keys. Now, he didn't just lose one master lock key to trailer locks. This is where you flipped out on him, and I came running in from the next room like, what the fuck? You were telling him all the things that were on that key ring.
Yes, it was my key ring.
House keys to both places, mailbox keys to both places. There was a bunch of stuff on there, so it wasn't like, hey, you lost the key. You lost everything.
Yes.
And
I wanted it on there because I figured if we had it...
One yawn. There's one. The over under six.
If I had it on a major key ring, nobody's going to forget the major key ring. No. If those trailer keys are just sitting somewhere by themselves, they're easy to. So I'm thinking this is a big set of keys.
Yeah, it was.
How could anybody misplace these?
Softball size. There's.
What was I thinking?
So now he's getting a little shook up, which is kind of good because... I
lost it.
I didn't really ever see him take things to heart. He's like, okay, mom's mad, big deal. You guys can buy more keys. You can afford it. Who cares? That's not his attitude this time. He was really upset that you were upset.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes into me, he goes, well, what do? I go fucking retrace your steps. First of all, look through everything here, the house in Minden, your clothes, your bed, your dresser, the front door, look in the garage, go look through my truck, every little nook and cranny, under the seat, down on the side, look everywhere, and then go retrace your steps. He goes, well, what do you mean retrace your steps? Now, for those of you that are members of Patreon or the General's Lunchbox, which is a Facebook page, or YouTube members, you guys saw some pictures and a little bit of the story. This is me filling in the gaps. And for those of you that aren't members of those sites, this is the whole story. When we went to Minden, like I said, a few days prior to this, we had to find a storage unit, and we looked around and we found a really nice guy with a really clean, newer storage unit. The guy lives on the site, and it's tucked away where you couldn't get to it through back roads. He's got cameras everywhere, and they've never been broken into. And I'm like, okay, this is good. So we go there. The road to get to the storage is actually a little over a mile long, and it's a shitty road. It is dirt. A shitty, bumpy road. A big portion of it is dirt. And there's a few houses along. There's probably 11 or 12 houses total, I would guess.
And of a beautiful little pond or big pond.
It's a pond, and it's tucked. This thing's tucked away.
Yeah.
I want to say tucked away out in the open. You can see it from the road, but you couldn't get to it. It's got a 1,000-yard kill zone around it.
There's one way in and one way out.
One way out, yeah. So, and I told Briggs, I said, look, that is the shittiest road ever. You probably left these keys on the fender of the trailer, because that's what he does. And I saw that yawn. You choked it back,
but
I saw it.
Stop calling me out.
Nice try. After you called me out being romantic, you're done for the day. So I told him, I said, knowing you left the keys on the fender of the trailer.
Taking money out of his wallet.
And I'm telling you, Briggs, there is no way those keys stayed on a bumper or a trailer fender for that shitty road. There's no way.
No.
I don't care how slow you went, those things would fall off. He goes, okay. So he drives all the way back over to storage, up and down, up and down, up and down. Can't find it. He goes on the 395. He goes all the way to the Sun Valley Fox's house, looking on the side of the road. He finally gets there, and I talked to the Sun Valley Fox afterwards, and he was like, Briggs was upset. He was telling, this is his uncle. He's talking to. As long as I'm in trouble now. I think I'm in trouble. This is not good.
Well, he also heard my brother heard me be angry, I think, for the very first time. Yeah. Because Briggs was on the phone with my brother asking him if he saw the keys, if the keys are on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And I was screaming at Brigger. Yeah. And I could hear my brother go, uh-oh, your mom's mad.
Yeah, and this isn't just like Gen X mom, your queen freaked out. No, this is years and years and years of this type of shit. And now it cost us. This isn't, hey, you left the pizza out all night. Now the pizza's bad on the counter. This isn't, you didn't take the trash out correctly and now the dogs got into it. After all this, it's finally something. It told you, it said, one day you're going to fuck up and it's going to be something serious and it's going to cost this family. And it was just that time. And you wigged out over years of this. This is just the pinnacle. The straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. So now I tell you, I said, and he was supposed to come back with the trailer, but now he's over there with the trailer. And
this is like an hour later than we already.
Yes, Sun Valley Fox, and he's just sitting there, and I'm like, just get up. Do we have our stuff packed? You go, yeah, we're all packed. I said, get in the truck, grab both dogs, throw them in the back seat, let's go. And you said, where are we going? I said, we're going to go look for the fucking keys.
I was like, oh my God.
And I know it's a long shot.
Because they've been out in the world for the last 12 hours, so who knows where they're at.
Yeah, longer, sure. So we call the guy from the storage facility and say, listen, could you check the cameras and could you see if your cameras could see him on the trailer fender? Can you see if maybe someone who came out after Briggs left last night, if there was maybe one person or two people that came into the storage facility, could you just call them and ask if they found a set of keys? So we drive over to the storage facility. We drive down the road looking. We get to the storage facility. The owner is driving around looking for these keys.
He was.
That's how cool this guy is. He's driving around and he pulls up and says, I'm looking. I don't see him anywhere. I'll make the phone calls, but I'm trying to find him. So we drive back down the road very slowly. We get to the end of the road and I call Briggs. I said, did you open up our storage? Did you look in there? Like maybe you set him on something and close the door? He goes, oh, no, I forgot to do that. Back down the road we go.
We did.
We go all the way back down the road, check the storage, not there. And we're leaving. And now we've gone down this road 3 times now. And there's those gang mailboxes there. And one of the gang boxes had a person at it. I thought, we should just ask them, hey, there's only like 11 neighbors on here. You probably know all your neighbors. Could you call and ask if anybody found a set of keys? And then I'm thinking, what does it matter? Because if I ask this lady, she's getting her mail. If I politely pulled up and asked her, hey, could you ask around? By the time she does, and she talks to everybody, a couple of days will have gone by. I'm going to have replaced all the keys by then anyway, because I can't wait. Mm-hmm. So I didn't bother asking. I didn't want to disturb her. And as we're passing this mailbox halfway down this road, you rubberneck.
I did.
You're turning your neck and I go, what are you doing? So I stopped. I go, what are you looking at? And you said,
I said that in our neighborhood here in Bakersfield, if somebody leaves their mailbox key or sometimes their keys are attached to, their keys for their house, we put them up on top of the mailbox.
Because you don't know whose keys they are.
No. And you have it's just like we were. If once you realize they're missing, you go back to the last place you did. So I've seen them up there and I've seen them disappear. So
now I get what you're saying, because if I found a set of keys, I would have no idea what house to take them to. The only thing I can do is set them on the mailbox and hope the owners come back. That was brilliant.
Well, thank you. But all of a sudden, it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, well, maybe. But I looked out and there was nothing.
So I said, well, are the keys there? And you said, no, there's no keys on there. So we kept driving slowly down the road for one last time. And I would not have thought to look at that mailbox the way you did. I just didn't know that's what you guys did. We get to the very end of the road and I stopped and you were doing something on your phone and you said, why are you stopping? And I said, well, there's one more mailbox tucked away. It's right behind those bushes right there, just off to the side. And you got out and went over there and sure enough, there's your keys.
There was my set of keys sitting on top of the
Sitting on top of the mailbox. So I'm like, holy Santa Claus shit. What are the odds? Now, those keys had been driven over.
Yeah, when I got them, they were smashed. Yeah.
They were beat the shit. We grabbed the keys. We went back to the Sun Valley Fox's house. Briggs comes up and just hugs me. He's like, oh, because this is the very first time something like that had hit him in the heart. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, fuck it, you guys.
Because Mom doesn't get mad at him. Mom doesn't lose her shit. When I do, He knows that it's serious.
And you were, and you didn't have just the anger part. You had the disappointment part. Like, how could you be so fucking dumb? Come on, you're 19. You have to know how to do this shit.
Yeah.
This is what 12-year-olds do. You really were disappointed.
I was.
So it hit him hard, but he gets the trailer and he takes off. He's good to go. I said, I gave you a credit card for gas. Take your dog. Make sure you guys do food and water.
We'll
travel carefully.
We'll be behind you.
Yeah, we'll be behind you. And off we go. So we came home. We came home Sunday, wasn't it?
No, Friday. It was Good Friday. Remember?
Friday. We came home Friday. So Saturday we did stuff around here, and Sunday we're getting ready to start packing. And I tell, we have some stuff in the trailer that needs to come out. I told Briggs, you got to take the stuff out of the trailer. And he comes back in and says, there's no trailer key. And I said, what do you mean there's no trailer key? He goes, there's no trailer key. Go bring me all the keys. So he brings me the keys. Sure enough, it had been driven over so many times that little flimsy key ring that was on there snapped off. Briggs did not take the trailer key off. No, that's a hard thing to do. It's one of those key rings where you gotta open it up and bend it apart and work the key all the way around.
Yeah.
None of us did that. No one of us would intentionally take the trailer key off. That's just dumb. It broke, and it was missing. And now we have to start all over with how do we get in the trailer? What do we do? So we're still packing stuff around the house Monday and Tuesday. And I guess it was Tuesday I called Dr. Shadowlight, bringing you back full circle. It's his trailer. And I said, well, Briggs lost the key. I'm going to have to try to get into the trailer and break the locks or cut the locks and buy you some new locks, which, as long as it didn't damage his trailer, Dr. Shadowlight wouldn't have cared. Like, well, give me the same locks and that's fine. And this is kind of a side note, and I didn't tell you this, so this is going to be new to you. So Dr. Shadowlight says, I think I got one more key. I was like, you think so? Now remember, I'm talking to him. We're texting back and forth. He's at work.
Yeah.
And he goes, I think I got a key. And I said, well, if you can ship it overnight, we'll pay you the money to ship it overnight. We got a key that'll help out a ton. And I'm not kidding. Within maybe 22 minutes, my phone rings, and it's him. He goes, hey, the address you gave me, the P.O. box in Bakersfield, the P.O. box was 600-547. He goes, I'm standing here at UPS. They don't have an address of 547. I'm like, he's already there? He had left work, got someone to cover his patients, grabbed the key, and got to the UPS store in about 22 minutes from when our first conversation happened.
That was awesome.
And I was like, holy shit, dude. I mean, this guy fucking got after it. It wasn't like, he wasn't playing around. He's like, no, I can't wait till 5 o'clock tonight and still overnight this shit.
Right.
He just knew the thing. He had a way to finagle people and patients and do it correctly where everything was worked, and he did it. And I said, well, the address is 600-547. Every mailbox there is at the address of the building, and 600. Then we all have different mailbox numbers. He goes, oh, okay. So he gave it to UPS and goes, they're all 600. Just -547. That's the mailbox. Which you think UPS would have known, being this is a UPS store that he's sending it to.
It's from UPS store to a UPS store.
Yeah, it's like, why do I have to explain how you boys set up your mailboxes?
Right.
So he sends that thing off. We should get that today. And but we still can't get in the trailer. And Briggs is like, well, if we got rivets, we could have to drill the rivet, cut the head off the rivet. And I said, well, but I think they're carriage bolts. If we could just get in through a vent or something to the inside, we could take the bolt off from the inside. He goes, oh, yeah. So we can't do that. All of a sudden, I went out and I actually looked at it. The bolt, and this is where the pictures come in. If you guys were members and you got your members-only pictures that I showed very carefully, it was a tamper-proof Torx bit. And he goes, well, it's a Torx bit, but they got a dot in the center. I can't put a Torx bit in there to undo the bolt. He goes, why is there a thing in there's a centerpiece in the Torx bit bolt? My tool won't fit. I go, because it's called tamper-proof. Now, you don't have to have a license to have those tools, but they are a little bit more on the rare side. In other words, you wouldn't find those in some guy's garage. You might find a Torx bit. That's even uncommon. But a tamper-proof one, not happening. And Briggs goes, well, if we could just get a tamper-proof bit this size. And I said, follow me.
Where do they sell those?
I get mine off Tool Trucks. I get them in a complete set.
So you can't go to like Lowe's or...
Oh, yeah, you can. You can get them.
Okay. They have
I just got mine. You can now. Yeah, you can go that way. That's just where I got mine from.
Okay.
So we go to the garage. Sure enough, I got the tamper-proof stuff. And go out there with a socket or a ratchet and an extension and the tamper-proof bit and pull the bolt off. And the lock still stayed on, of course, because we can't undo it. But the latches come open and the door comes down. So we're okay. We just got the bolts in our hands and we're good. And so now we're in and we're loading.
And where are these bolts before they get lost?
I told Brigger to put them on the kitchen counter.
Okay. That's what those were. Okay.
They should still be there because I said, put these in Mom's way. She won't just sweep them off the counter. Although you might. You've been acting really fucking weird lately.
No, I actually picked them up and put them into the plastic. I have this plastic like shoebox thing that I'm gathering up like nails and stuff around. So that's where they are.
Okay, as long as you know.
He didn't tell me what they were. I never knew. So they're in this plastic thing so they won't get lost. So we've got them. So the door opens and we start loading stuff up and we're getting ahead of the game. But now we're a couple of days easy behind. And here's the worst part. And this is the part I try to tell kids about stupid shit they do. You have no idea how losing a set of keys can affect the big picture. Not only are we way behind now because of that, and he says, well, it's not my fault that the key's not on there. I didn't run over it with a truck. No. But you left it in the road and the truck ran over it and the key's missing. It's the domino effect.
Yeah, this is all on you. Now, here's the one that really made me mad. You guys all know that your queen, Gen X Mom, we were driving back and forth from Reno and Minden. All those times we went up there to try to find property and find a house to do stuff. We were coming over I-80, and it was about a little over 7 hour drive. And that was about an hour too long. In the last hour, she's sitting in the passenger seat crying. She's chewing on pain pills and got a patch on her back with a heated seat. It's just done. She's done. That was over her limit every single time. And it would take her a full day. The next day she'd sleep and couldn't get up, couldn't walk, couldn't move, couldn't do anything. It was a day and a half to get her back in the game. Once Sun Valley Fox taught us about Route 88, Highway 88, that shaves about an hour off of our drive. I'm actually getting you home and you're in good shape. You can actually get up the next day and function.
Yes.
So now we've got this down to a rhythm, but we can't dick around. Once I get you in the truck, it's go. Don't drive around here. Don't drive around there. Don't make a bunch of stops. Don't see the sights. No, get her home in 6 hours and we're okay.
Right.
Well, that particular day, not only were you stressed because of the keys, we're driving around for an hour and a half looking for the keys.
And I'm tired on top of it because I'm not sleeping
Didn't get a good night's sleep. Then we're at your brother's for a little bit. Then we get on the road. We're leaving 2 to 2.5 hours late. You've been in the truck for an hour and a half already. So even if I hurry, I'm in trouble. Yeah. You're in trouble.
And we hit some traffic because it was Good Friday.
We hit a little traffic. So
Friday.
By the time you got home, you hurt so bad. I mean, medications, hot shower, hot bath. She was in bed almost 2 straight days. And on the third day, she still was barely functional. And Briggs walks up, what's wrong with Mom? And I said, you dumbass. You and those fucking keys triggered all of this. It was a cascading event. You have no idea when you are careless. You have no idea how far reaching the fuck up stuff goes. And I was mad. I go, this is just what we're doing now because of you. You couldn't just put the keys in the cup holder like a normal person. And again, I want you guys to understand that the premise is with Briggs is, hey, everybody makes mistakes. Come on, everybody loses keys once in a while. Come on, it's human. Yes, that's true. But that's like saying if you get a flat tire on your way to work and your boss is mad, whoa, easy now. Flat tires happen. People get flat tires. Come on now. Can't get mad at me. That's part of life. It's human nature. Okay. What if you had an employee who got a flat tire 3 times a week? 6 times every 2 weeks, 12 times a month. And every time they got a flat tire, whoa, easy now. I just got a flat tire. What's the big deal? Because you always get a flat tire. Do you see how ridiculous that would be? It would no longer become normal. It would no longer become average. A single incident is fine. But Briggs used to fuck up so often that it's like, dude, don't even play that card. You do this all the fucking time. Right. This is just you. So this is another reason. This is why his mother lost her shit, because this isn't just one flat tire. This is 3 a week, and this one was costly. And we kept paying for it with her paying for 3 days. We kept paying for it with not being able to load. Now we're days behind schedule. We should have already been back up there. This is just one of those things. So when you guys see me posting, and I posted a couple things in the members site with pictures about what we're doing, I even showed you guys the road we were on when I highlighted the road, that 1 mile road, and took a picture of how shitty it was. I was letting you guys in on the fact of what's going on, but this is the first time we've told the whole story. We mentioned it a little bit in the Bottom and Glass Nation show one night, but this gives you guys the full deal. Now, I didn't stay writing his ass about stuff because I did see the sincerity in him. This did hit him. He is trying to fix some things. I really believe that. He's getting better. He's got a long way to go, but at least he's understanding the seriousness of all of it now. So that's the best way I can describe to you guys the keys in the trailer and all that shit. We should get the keys today. We should be back on track. We can get stuff going, but that was just a fucking nightmare that just wouldn't stop. It's like every time I turn around, fuck, one more problem because of these keys. One more problem because of these fucking keys. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. I'm calming down. I'm going to hydrate.
Are you sure? Woosah. We made it through it.
Yeah, so
we made it through it. I have one little complaint about the house we have in Minden.
Just one?
Well, I mean, one that's really, really like bugging me, and I don't know what to do about it. Like I can't fix it. So our backyard is mostly rocks. There's plants and there's drip irrigation. I looked and we have drip irrigation on the plants.
And it's really small.
Well, it's
go ahead.
It's small, yes. Yeah. But I was hoping there was a hose, like what do they call it? Hose faucet?
Yeah.
A faucet?
Hose faucet. Hose bib.
Somewhere on the house. And I haven't been able to find one.
How could you build a house without having a...
That's what I want to know. Okay, so our AC unit's right there. Yeah. They have the sprinkler valves right there. And I'm thinking it's got to be right here.
Yeah, that's where water is.
And there's nothing. I can't find it. Now, I have not been raised in cold weather. So could it be hidden because of cold weather? Can it be covered? Can it?
Yeah, maybe. But even in cold weather, they have different types of faucets that shut off deeper inside the ground. Like you shut off the valve and the actual plunger is down low, or it's inside the wall. But you should still, I can't think of a house that's been built in the last 40 years, it doesn't have a hose bib on the outside of it somewhere.
I cannot find it.
Did you check outside the gate on the side of the garage?
I have not. That was the next thing. When we left on Friday, I was thinking about it going, okay, well, we have one gate that goes out to the common area. And I'm like, it wouldn't be out on the common area for anybody to go through. And so then I was thinking I think we have another gate going toward the front, or we can go through the garage or whatever. I was thinking, well, maybe it's over by the meter, like ours is at this house, where the meter is.
Well, you just have to look, because there's got to be one somewhere.
That's what I thought. And so I even had Briggs go in the backyard. I go, hey, go see if you can find a hose faucet somewhere. I said, because there's not one around. And he went and looked and he couldn't find it.
But again, Briggs, when you tell Briggs to go look for something, it's 50-50. He doesn't, you can't just say, oh, well, if Brigger looked, then there isn't one. You need to go look again.
Oh, it's just driving me up a wall. But even if it was in the front, I just don't get it. There's nothing in the backyard.
There's got to be one. There's got to be one.
Well, that's
somewhere.
my biggest, it's
I don't
so
like
weird.
how the kitchen counters where you sit at the bar, they're like 10 inches lower than ours here.
Oh, yeah.
Like I could roll up to it in my wheelchair if I wanted to and sit right there and eat something. It's just low. And then our bathroom counters in our bathroom, our master bath in this house is as big as our guest bathrooms in our house we're in now. And the counters are like up to your waist.
They're below my waist. They're below my hoo-ha, to be exact.
Well, I'm just telling you that this whole it's a downsizing experience. I don't care. This is just something we're living at, to get going. But it's so funny, all the things you didn't realize about a house until you move from the one you picked or you built to the one you're at. You're like, why would you do that?
Yeah, because I think our master bath here, they're high For me.
Yeah.
I think they're high. I think they were built a little high.
I like them.
I know you would.
Yeah.
But then to go to this one, which is really low.
So which one do you want?
I'd rather have the higher one.
So needless to say, there's a ton of adjustments we're getting used. It's like moving back to an apartment. We're in our early 20s. Everything's small and it's all white walls and it's rental carpet. You can tell the carpet's
The other thing we haven't taken up there is a vacuum.
Yeah,
I have a few cleaning supplies, but I realize I don't have a whole lot. And I'm like, I don't want to go buy any because we have so much here.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, we'll get it all up there. But
oh my gosh.
It's a weird, tiny little place. In other words, if you came to visit, you would not be impressed. This is not the kind of house you move into.
It's a great first home for somebody or for an elderly person. Like, we're not elderly, but like for a low maintenance, elderly retirement. Nope, can't say retirement. Elderly. Let's
if you just went there for an old couple with really this
or
house
a single
is perfect.
or a widowed lady, like somebody, it's perfect.
You know what? This is a cat lady house.
Pretty much.
An old lady with 10 cats. This is perfect.
Yeah.
So we're getting used to it. It's just a place to be while we do our thing. But
low maintenance.
It's funny to talk about all the differences when we lived in this house 20-some years and go there and you're like, wow.
Because when we bought this house, we were like, we've made it. Like
we're never leaving. This is it.
I know, but we thought we went from an apartment to a little house to a bigger house.
Yeah,
and then we got here and we're like, we finally did it.
Because we have 8 kids too. This was the perfect house for 8 kids.
And the property, we were like, we got it.
We lucked out. This is great. We're never moving.
That's what we'd said.
And then here we are moving.
Yeah.
I talked to a friend of mine. He's like, why are you moving? He wanted to know, do you hate California? I was like, no, honestly, the house is just too big. It's too empty. All the kids are gone. It's too quiet. It's too much property to maintain. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't want to,
I don't want to keep forking out money for people to fix it or to clean things or something as I get older. We
just had to go through and have a small roof repair done, and those things are just going to get more. We just fix them as we go, but it's just, we realize it's time to get out of the big house on the big property and just go to something simpler.
I realized that watching my mom in her house, in that big house by herself. Which she always says, but I know where everything is. Yeah, I get it, but it's stressed her beyond belief.
We didn't talk about the worst part of this house, though.
Which house? This house?
This house.
What about it?
2-story.
Oh, yeah, the 2-story. Ooh.
Done.
I'm done with it, too.
Done going up and down, 2 stories, done lugging things up and down. I'm done with that.
He even talked about moving our bedroom downstairs. Remember? We talked about that and not being upstairs.
Yeah, let's take the guest bedroom downstairs. I don't even give a shit anymore. I just can't do these stairs.
That's what my sister does at her house. She has a 2-story and their master's downstairs. They barely go upstairs.
Good. That's
all
smart.
She doesn't go upstairs at all. But
so it's just when the kids used to be here, it was great. When the kids used to come back for all the birthdays and holidays, so we had kids here every month. It was fine, and the pool was used all summer. But no one's been in that pool in 2 years.
Yeah, and as we get older, we see ourselves having a pool person and a gardener.
Except for if you want to count when Trippy threw Sammy in the pool. Sammy was in the pool, technically.
It was just in the future was going to cost us a lot of money.
It's just not, it's not the thing anymore. So, all right, enough about that. We'll move on. What else is there? There's stuff else. I know you guys have
stuff you want to talk about. And we needed a new adventure, just so you know.
Yeah, that's what we needed. Another new adventure. When do we get to the point where there's no more adventures? The Sun Valley Fox?
Then you're dead.
He's 70. He's not dead.
No, I said then you're dead if you don't have any new adventure.
His new adventure is assembling a garden shed from Sears.
Greenhouse.
In his garage. That's the adventure. Not packing up and moving 400 miles.
It's the new adventure of helping you build a house. Come on. He is not all over the property. He has a brand new, fresh property because his is completely done. All he's doing is maintaining.
Yeah, he's got a fresh project. Me.
Yes, exactly. He's your motivator. You guys sit there, and I swear every time you guys see each other, you have a new idea that's going on. Well, that's his new project. That's his new adventure.
Listen, men have to discuss many possibilities and many angles before you actually begin something. You got to run all these things down just to make sure you've covered all the bases as much as you can. We don't just run in and start throwing ingredients together and hope it tastes good for dinner. No. We believe in straight boards and right angles. And nails that are pounded and not bent over. That's why half the time
I just say okay to you because I know in a breath it could change.
That's right. And don't you forget that.
That's why I don't get excited. I'm like, you know what? Let me know when it's getting built. Okay.
Well, the last thing you sent me on a home design, I said stop sending them. That's the one I want.
Yeah, but are you going to do that?
And yes, because I won't go look for anything new. What'll fuck that up is you keep sending shit.
No, but if I want that one too.
Okay, then don't send me one more picture.
Do I have to dig for those plans or something?
No, you sent me the website. I'll just go there and buy them. It's on the website. You just
did
go to
I send the website?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Everything's fine. Don't fucking send me one more goddamn set of plans. I know what house I want now.
Okay, I like the color of it, too.
Wait. You like the color? The color can be whatever color we paint
I like that color.
Okay. Here's how don't get excited about this house.
I'm not.
Because we haven't run it by your brother yet. We haven't run it by the Sun Valley Fox yet, so my
brother is not living in it.
We have not received final approval from the patriarch of the family. Therefore, we have to submit these housing plans in triplicate.
What I'm saying? It's my brother's new project. I'm not joking. So,
yeah.
So Easter came and went this year.
Yeah, we did.
I wasn't sure where we were going to be, actually. So
Easter money hit a basket for Briggs. That was nice.
Surprisingly. He was surprised.
No Easter egg hunt.
He told Addie that he didn't think he was getting one because she goes, you think you're going to get an Easter basket? And he had told Addie, he goes, I don't think so. We're so busy.
Does he not know who his mother is? I don't know. You are the queen of holidays.
I know, but I feel bad because I didn't do anything for the grandkids. But I had called them and told them, like, Grammy's going to have to skip this Easter.
Did I tell you when Tasha called me and our granddaughter, Elena, was in the background and I was on speakerphone and my daughter just missed me. She goes, Dad, I just wanted to call you. I just missed you. I want to hear your voice. And she's telling me, I can hear our granddaughter bip bopping around in the background. She's got me on speakerphone and she says, I just went down to Mike's work and I brought him lunch and just sat with him and talked to him. He's really having a hard time at work and just made sure everything was okay. And Elena comes running up and screams into the phone, Pop, yeah, we brought him lunch. And she kissed him right on the lips. And then off she ran. And I go, what was that for? And my daughter goes, well, I guess she thought you needed to know that. I don't know. And she kissed him, Pop, right on the lips. And then off she went. So
that's funny. So I have to address something that came on Discord. Dr. Shadowlight goes, he's 19 about the Easter basket thing.
Yeah.
So we have a rule in our house. If the kids and grandkids spend the night before a holiday, whether it be Easter, Christmas, whatever, if they're expecting something in the morning, they get a stocking
for Christmas
or they get an Easter basket. Yes. So that's our rule. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Nope.
They could be 30 years old like our sons. And if they spend the night, they've had stockings before it, they will get it. So.
And our sons would show up at 32 years old.
Yes, they would.
And go, where's my basket? They know because we've said if you spend the night here for a holiday, then the next morning you get whatever's there. So they do that.
Yeah. So on Easter, I was thinking about that one Easter. We always did an Easter egg hunt for the kids.
That's 4 yawns.
Oh my gosh.
2 more.
Sorry. We always do an Easter egg hunt for the kids. Tell them what you did with the one Easter egg.
We started doing a thing with the Easter egg hunt. My mom actually did this when we were kids growing up because we'd have big Easter egg hunts in the San Fernando Valley at different houses. And there were so many grandkids, nieces and nephews with the aunts and uncles and cousins that, you have to hide 140 eggs. Yeah. There's so many kids. Well, we got to that same thing. If you figure every kid, 8 kids want to find 10 eggs, that's at least 80. So we'd put all the eggs out there. You'd hard boil the eggs and they'd color them. And we did some plastic eggs. We mixed it up. But then one year we were out buying some plastic eggs and they had shiny gold and shiny silver eggs. And you're like, ew, don't get those. Those are gross. And I went, no. And I hid money in them.
Yes, you did.
And I told the kids, I said, there's a bright, shiny silver egg and it's got $10 in it. And then I did all these things. So now they're looking for their eggs. They're trying to win their prizes and places with all the eggs and they're running around the yard. But I had one golden egg that was about the size of those stupid legs things that pantyhose used to come in.
Yeah, it was pretty big size.
I know nobody remembers
and
those.
And also visualize all the kids are dressed up for Easter.
Yes.
They're looking pretty. The girls are in pretty dresses and everything.
She dressed them up for Easter.
Oh man, here we go.
Do you guys remember Legs, the pantyhose? They came.
Do you?
Yeah, they came. That's why I'm talking about.
Why, do you wear them?
They came. No, but the pantyhose came in a big egg. I mean, like this, bigger than a baseball. And one of these eggs that I bought at the dollar store was one of those gold ones, about as big as one of those. I think it was huge.
Yeah, it was big.
And I put $100 bill in it.
Yes, you did.
And I showed the kids. I said, "Here it is, and you got to go find it." And they're running around the yard. They're running the backyard. They're up. They're climbing on the roof. They're going everywhere. And finally, one of them screams. They see it. I had sunk it to the bottom of the pool.
You did.
And they all jumped in at once, or most of them did. Most of the 8 kids.
The girls, no, only 2. Bud did, our son did, and then Tasha did in her dress.
Yeah, but there was 2 other kids waiting, and they went to the step and started walking, and those 2 jumped in.
Yeah, those 2 jumped in, and I just went, oh, so I gasped.
Yeah, she wanted that $100 bill, so she jumps in her Easter dress and goes towards the bottom of the pool. Bud jumps in. The kids that were waiting in, trying to go in slowly, trying to talk themselves into it, are now knee deep in the pool. They're wet, but they can't go get it. And it was a fight at the bottom of that pool. I think Tasha came up with the egg. I think she got it.
She'd tell us.
Yeah, she would tell us. She goes, "Oh yeah, I got that egg." Yeah, there was a lot of memories of stuff we did, silly things that we did around Easter time, because nothing says remembering the resurrection of Christ like $100 bills and gold eggs at the bottom of a swimming pool in California.
Well, the other thing is that it was March or April, and the pool is cold.
Yeah, it was
not heated. So it was like it took determination to go in there and get that egg. But they got it,
changed their clothes, and came out. That's just one of many stories that no longer happens anymore. We went from Easters like that to
quiet and simple. I think the day we left Minden, I put in an order for ham, like for Easter dinner, and did it. So it was very simple for
I'll
Easter.
Tell you, I know I've told you this on the drive, but think about Christmas. Briggs is going to be gone to Chico. And
he'll be back for Christmas.
We will be. I think he'll go to Addie's. I think he'll go to his girlfriend's for Christmas.
Well, we'll see.
And I think this will be the first Christmas. It'll just be you and I and the dogs. The first Christmas in all these years we'll be alone.
Maybe one of our kids will invite us for Christmas. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
They might invite you. They don't like me so much, so they might invite you.
But you're my +1, so and my driver. Yeah. And so you got to be there. So also last week was one of your favorite, I'm going to call it a holiday, but it's not a holiday.
What?
Tax day.
Oh, Christ. Yeah.
Exactly. Property tax. I'm sorry. Taxes were due last week.
Our property tax, if you split them up into 2 payments, the second payment is due April 10th in our county. That's right. And then, tax day is the 15th when you got to pay.
And I stay away from you that day because you're not a happy camper.
I'm not.
You don't like that day.
No, I don't.
You're grumpy. So if you could, I was thinking, the property tax makes me laugh, first of all, because we buy the house.
Yeah.
You would think that we would buy the land. Why would we have to pay?
You got to rent the land from the state to live. It's a privilege to live in California.
That bothers me.
Yeah, they attach property tax because, you can afford it. If you're a property owner, you're rich. You can have a house. We will tax you for the fire department, the police department, the sanitation, the water. Schools, we just tax property owners, and that's what they do.
Gas tax.
Yeah, they have to get their taxes. Like, okay, so you're going to leave my income alone? Oh, no. We're taxing that also.
Too. Yes.
Like, wait a second. You're taxing it when I make it. You're taxing it because I live here. And then you're taxing it when I spend it. Whatever's left over, they tax when I spend it. Yeah, it's not a good thing. That's why I like where we're going in Nevada, the property taxes are about half, and there's no income tax. When we earn the money and we get state level, you get to keep it, which is good.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about that. But if you could change the tax laws, have you ever thought about that?
Well, I'm not a tax expert. I've gone through some extensive conversations over the years, learning a lot. And if you're asking what one thing would I change, like we couldn't sit here and talk about how would you change every tax law there is.
No, I'm just saying about what.
I used to be in favor of a flat tax.
Used to be.
Yeah, and eliminate all the income tax.
Okay.
And you just have a sales tax, and you just have a flat tax. If you buy a stick of gum, it's a 10% tax, let's say. If you buy a house, it's a 10% tax. If you buy a yacht, it's a 10% tax. The problem with having a flat tax, or even if some people have said about just doing an income tax, that's a flat income tax for everybody.
For everybody across the board.
Everybody pay, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's say it's a 10% income tax.
Whether you make $1 billion
doesn't matter,
or $100,000.
You're going to pay 10% on that, same as me. You know, if I make $50,000 a year, I pay my 10%. If you make $1 million a year, you pay your 10%.
Okay.
So everybody pays the same, and if you're rich, you pay more. So on the surface, that always sounds like a good idea, and it sounds very fair. But there's two things that come to mind. First thing is, if you're making very little money, like $30,000 a year, those people should be exempt. Okay. There should be a bottom line number, what people call a poverty line. Say, well, if you're under 36,000 or 30,000,
keep it all.
Yeah, no 10%. Just take your money, do your thing.
Agree. Okay, I got that.
But the other part of that is, especially if you're talking about an income tax, companies pour millions and billions into research and development, trying new machines, building robots, developing new drugs. A large part of that, yes, they do. If they pull something off and it's great, then they can reap the benefits for selling it. But you may have 10, 15 years where you're not making any money at all. But then how is it financially feasible to do that? Because you get to write that off on your taxes. Research and development, they're like, hey, the government says, hey, you're going to owe us $200,000 in taxes this year. But if you want to spend $200,000 on research and development, we'll go ahead and let you. Don't give it to us. Put that back into research and development. Why? Because American companies can become the best companies. We can have the best products. We can have the best medicine. The person who designed that loophole in taxes was brilliant because it encourages companies to don't pay taxes, reinvest it. It gives people jobs. It furthers our technology down the road. It's great. The problem is there's so many loopholes. Like Trump says, Trump got out there and said, you know, I don't pay any taxes. How the fuck is get $1 billion not pay taxes because there's loopholes in the system, and every billionaire uses them, so they end up paying zero. And yes, they have to put money, some of their money they put back into research. They put money into properties. They make the money work, yes. Right. But there's so many loopholes at that level that they end up paying less than I do. But I have thought about a flat tax. I wish there was a way to make it, if you're a billionaire and you buy a yacht for, $100 million, you're going to pay a shit ton of money because you're paying a flat tax of 10% on the purchase price. But there's just, that, and no one would go for that. No one would say, oh yeah, 10% sales tax is fair as long as you get rid of all the other taxes. But the government's never going to do that. You can't.
What if they did something separate for personal and business?
Well, there already is that. There's already separation for business tax and personal tax. There's different rates. But now you're getting back into why the single tax code book is about 4 feet tall. Because there's so many things in there. I would just wish there was a way to make it simpler. I love the idea of tariffs paying for everything, but they can't anymore. They used to. Tariffs is how we used to survive. There was no income tax. We taxed other countries on goods coming in, and then that was how we ran everything. But that was a brief period of time.
We're too far gone.
Oh yeah, it's just too big. You can't. I don't think the numbers would add up. I'm not a tariff guy. I don't know. And believe me, I've become more educated because people always ask me about Trump's tariff situation, and the bottom line is real simple. There's two things that you need to remember about the tariff thing. One is not every tariff that comes in here gets passed on to the taxpayer, to us. There is a bunch of stuff being imported that China is just eating the tariff on. That Canada is just eating the tariff on. Sometimes the importer, sometimes the guy here in America, they import some stuff from Canada, and Canada says, fuck you, we're not eating this tariff, you're doing it. And the importer says, all right, I'll eat. And I'll give you an example. We use a Shopify, Printful, and Printify for our Gen X Talk store. And I'm getting emails from Printify says, we're not passing the tariffs on to you. Oh. We import stuff. We're sucking it up. We're just going to eat the tariffs for right now. We'll let you know if it changes. So everyone says, oh, it always goes on to the consumer. It always goes on to the consumer. No, it doesn't. Sometimes Canada says, all right, fuck it. We're going to sell it to you at the same price. We'll eat it into our profits on our end. Sometimes the importer, like Printify and Printful, they say, well, we'll suck it up, not going on to the consumer. And sometimes it goes right to the consumer. But to have anybody blanket policy say, well, no matter what, the customer ends up paying for it. No, not always. And that's fair. It doesn't always. Well, most of the time. Well, how do you fucking know? Did you know every situation? Fuck off. You don't know. You're just saying that because you're an asshole. But the other part of the tariff thing is this is the biggest part to remember. It's a gamble. I'm just telling you right now, and I wish everyone, you know how we would win this gamble is if everyone in the country went on radio and TV and said, "We're behind you, Trump. This is going to hurt. It's going to hurt for a little bit, but we're doing it. We're sticking it out for as long as it takes. We're fucking with you. Fuck China. Fuck those other countries. Trump, if things get more expensive, you're our president. This is our country, and we'll suck it up." If that message got out to the world, they would fold in a minute. But they're banking on the fact that there's so many crybabies out there going, oh, the prices. Oh, look what Trump's doing. They're sowing discord so badly that China's going, how long can you hold on, Trump, before your country turns against you? Well, it's gonna happen with the Democrats out there screaming every fucking day. If everybody would have just got behind Trump and said, you know what? I don't like this. I don't agree with it. But you're the president. I'm on board. Let's fucking do it. And you tell China. If Chuck Schumer and the Democrats would tell China, we're going to hold out as long as it takes because that's our president, we'd win in a minute. Maybe
they shouldn't say president. Maybe they just say this is our country because we're doing it for the country, not the person.
They can't give Trump a win. They can't help him get a win. But if there was unity, this would have already been over. So it's a gamble. How long can Trump hold out? How long can this go? If he wins this, if he just tells the American people, I'm sorry you're bitching about it, I'm sorry you're complaining, and I'm sorry prices are going up, but and this is the right thing, you just don't get it. If he wins that in the end, no one would ever want him to leave office. His numbers are going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
But it is a gamble, and he has to win. And he knows it's a gamble because he doesn't have people. There's always going to be people trying to tear him down, trying to point it out. But if everybody would get behind him, like they did in World War II, and saying, "Well, going to war sucks, but let's do it," this would already been over. But you can't when you have one party that they wake up every morning and try to find a way to point out fault, to point out flaws. And they're calling the game that Trump is playing after each play. Oh, you should have ran it. You should have ran the football up the right. Say, oh, you shouldn't have thrown it. Oh, what are you doing punting? Oh, what do you? And you know what? Wait till the fucking game's over and tell me if Trump won the game. But all they do is point out, liberals, Democrats are on the sidelines pointing out play by play. Well, that play didn't go as planned.
Do you remember a couple nights ago I told you about reality TV that I can't stand it?
Yes.
We both said we've never watched a reality TV show.
Right.
Never, right? That's what the news has turned into, I think. I was thinking about it going, they're reality TV because they're biting and giving just a thing like you just said, calling the plays. They're putting in the drama. They're making it dramatic.
Every second.
Instead of waiting and reporting the news after something, like when it finally runs through the cycle, then report it.
Right.
But no, news has turned out to be a reality TV show, and I can't handle it anymore. It drives me crazy.
And all they do is they try to, if they can't point out, and this is everybody listening at home, pay attention to this one. If they can't point out something that Trump did wrong, they point out it potentially could have a maybe.
Choice of words.
It's what Trump's doing right now could maybe turn out bad. It could potentially be a recession. It might possibly get worse.
Just like a reality TV.
And you're like, yeah, I know that, but couldn't it also get better? Well, we don't want to talk about that.
No.
Couldn't it turn out maybe good? Well, we certainly don't want to bring that up now, do we? That's the difference.
That's the reality TV. Are they going to fight? Are they going to get into a cat fight?
Well, are
they going to be cheated on?
This is the thing that I do when people argue with me. Even one of our sons argues with me. Goes, "Hey, you see what Trump did? This could go really bad." And I go, "But couldn't it also go good?"
Really good.
He goes, "Well, yeah, but it won't." Do you know that? What do you know about fucking tariffs? You know less than I do. And I'm telling you, I don't know shit. Well, yeah, I said, I know. It's just so easy to go, this could go bad. What are we doing? I know.
We live in a doom and gloom society.
That's all it is.
All negativity first.
So who cares? You know, just, it's just a dumb thing.
You know, yeah. I thought you grew up. I thought we weren't being 12 anymore.
What are you talking about?
But I woke up this morning and I have no idea what you were doing with the soap on the shower doors today or on the glass.
I can't even explain it.
But I thought we were done.
No.
You haven't done it in so long.
Because this hit me all. Now listen, this is. I've been good about that.
Thank God I packed up the markers.
I know. I had to go back to soap. I had to go back to those crayons. The soap crayons in the shower were really doing good. I could have used them today. I need you to have an open mind. I just need you to have an open mind. Don't attack me. Just let's assume there might be some hidden brilliance in this. Okay. This is about time travel. There's two ways.
Oh my goodness. I can't wrap my head around this. Okay.
I'm gonna explain it like you're a 3-year-old. Here you go.
Well, thank you.
There's two ways to travel back in time.
Okay.
You can use science and math. You can calculate the speed of light and bending time and wormholes. Okay. All right. I got you. There's some, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Einstein can go figure that shit out.
Okay.
Gotcha. But the other way is to be lucky. I brought this up before, but you can out there. I believe the other way to do time travel is to fall through a spot in time that takes you back. That you could lean up. You're in the forest. You lean up against a rock, and the rock has a hidden lever, and the lever opens, and space opens up, and you get sucked in. There's luck. There is some place that there's luck involved in time travel. You just got to be in the right place at the right time when the planets align, and it happens. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Now, going under that assumption, I was wondering, and I was thinking of Ghostbusters, how did they build a ghost detector? They have to know what ghosts were made of first and then have to build a machine that detects it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what time travel's made of. But I'm going back to one of my go-to moves here, magnets.
All right.
Okay, so let me just say, first thing I was trying to do was invent some Google-type glasses that just saw everyday magnetic fields. Like if I look at you and a human being puts off a slight orange magnetic field, this computer, wow, look through my glasses and it's bright blue, or it's a heavy I want to just you go out to the forest, you look at a tree, a rock in the dirt, and it would have a very mild magnetic field to it. Okay. So why look for that? Now let's pause. Have you ever played a video game in the 80s when you're running around in the video game and you're looking for things and there's a brick wall in the game, and then there's like one part of the brick wall that looks different than the other part of the brick wall, and they put it there so you can erase it. You can press A and the bricks go away and there's a treasure behind it. You get to the point we're trained as Gen Xers to run around the planet looking for things that don't fit because there's a treasure there.
Right, okay.
Okay, that's like common knowledge for any Gen Xer.
Gotcha, yeah.
You're driving around like, well,
or the paint's a little different.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't look right at all. You go there. Okay.
Okay, gotcha. Follow
you. Okay,
I smell what you're stepping in.
There we go. So if I had glasses that could detect magnetic fields of all different kinds, and you just look around and everything's normal, I'm telling you, wherever a porthole is, that magnetic field has to be way different than anything I've ever seen. There's no way, I don't care if you're in the city, in a subway, you're out in the forest, you're on top of Mount Everest, I don't care if you're Jacques Cousteau at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. If there is a passageway through time, that magnetic field is probably the only thing you're ever going to be able to see that's different, because I guarantee in the forest, a rock over here with just a rock, the magnetic field of that rock is going to look different than the rock over here that has a wormhole behind it.
How would you know if you were going forward or back in time?
Don't know that. Just hold on.
Okay.
But I put on my glasses that I'm now going to invent, and I'm going to look for those things that we can't see like a video game. In a video game, you walk around, look for dissimilarities. Now I got glasses that'll do it for me. Now I can go see all the places on Earth that there is accidentally, luckily, a magnetic fluctuation, just like Geordi LaForge's glasses on Star Trek. I can see where to go. That's what I was drawing on the shower.
But the magnetic field would not draw different colors, would it?
I don't know. I want to invent glasses that see all the magnetic fields for what they are. Maybe they're just all the same color, but different strengths and weaknesses. Maybe yours aren't as strong as a magnetic field as this computer because it's wow, wow, wow. But I guarantee Rock A that has nothing special is going to be a very low magnetic. And Rock B over here to my left that has a wormhole behind it, got to be magnetic difference. There is no way it can't be.
Okay.
So you invent the glasses and you go looking. That's what was on the wall. And right now I've given that away. Right now there's some dude in his garage trying to build these glasses.
Oh, Discord's lighting up right now.
Because I gave it away.
You're going to have to go back on Discord because everybody's lighting that stuff up.
Just telling you, is that so you see, and here's what I'm submitting to you. Don't you ever call me a child. I was reshaping the destiny of mankind on the shower glass. You know what you should say? You should say thank you because my mind never stops working.
No kidding.
That was a complicated one.
I'll say thank you for my coffee this morning.
Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Why?
Because
my coffee stuff is all up in Nevada.
I get up, the dutiful husband, I drive out, I get your coffee.
Yes.
That's not something that's something Two Bear would do for you. Two Bear would get up every day and drive and get you coffee.
That would be so sweet.
That's just not my thing.
He would do it with a smile on his face.
I know, and I'm doing it. But then,
Yeah, but under duress.
I go get it. You kick me out of bed and go, put your boots on and go get my coffee. I go. But you also, you tell me the phrases that I don't understand with coffee. And it was something so simple. You said, order me a large medium roast coffee. And you said, tell them no room.
No room.
And I remember going, what is no room? And you had to tell me, well, then they'll...
I want it filled up to the top.
Yeah, because if you tell them no room, they won't leave you room for sugar and cream and milk and all that. I'm like, well, if I don't order sugar and cream and milk, don't they just fill it to the top? So I get there. Now, I've learned this just in the last couple months. I didn't know this was a term.
I know.
And it always works except for today.
What happened today?
Today, I went up there and I said, hey, I was told to order a large medium roast, no room. And the guy was brand new. He goes, what do you mean no room? I said, no, it's a term you fucking guys use. It means that you got to fill it to the top. He goes, why wouldn't I fill your coffee to the top? I said, that's what I'm saying. Apparently, which is why I entered this conversation, kid. And I said, I was told to order a coffee this way, letting you know this isn't my thing.
I'll tell you else why.
I've been sitting here with instructions, so don't question the instructions.
You know
They're not
what?
mine.
See, that one, those two words, no room, ends the conversation right there. That kid should have not went any farther. Because when you say, I want a medium roast coffee, then they go, well, do you want sugar? Do you want cream? Do you want milk? Do you want flavoring? They'll go on and on and on. When you say no room, you eliminated any more conversation.
Yeah, well, he didn't know. I asked him when I got to the window, I said, are you new? He goes, yeah, it's my first day. But the conversation went, if I tell you no room, it means fill it to the top because I'm not adding cream and sugar and stuff to it. He goes, if you don't tell me you want cream and sugar, I'm going to fill it to the top anyway because I'm assuming you don't want cream and sugar. If you tell me you want cream and sugar, I'll leave you a little room. I go, look, dude, this is your terminology, not mine.
Oh, I wish I was with you.
Just fill the fucking cup of coffee to the top. Then I get up there and I said, she wants 4 stevia. He goes, I thought you didn't want anything. I said, are you telling me you filled it so full that she can't put 4 packs of stevia in her coffee? He goes, you said no room. You obviously don't want anything. Now you're telling me you want things.
I want it on the side.
Right. But according to him, there's no room. So why would you order condiments? Which, by the way, was another discussion. They don't call them condiments. I don't know what the fuck they call them. He's like, I said, that's why you got to give me the condiments if I ask you for the condiments. He goes, you want mustard and ketchup? I go, no. He goes, those are condiments. These are like he called them something else like those sugars.
Sweeteners.
Yeah, and he goes, those aren't condoms. I go, fucking give me the packets. God damn it. Hardest cup of coffee I ever fucking ordered from some kid who's his first day. And you know what's dumb is it was his first day. What the fuck is he arguing with me for? It's his first day. He doesn't have the background to be arguing with me.
No, he doesn't.
Guarantee I've been a customer longer than he's been an employee.
And you know what? The customer's always right.
Not today.
That's what I would have told him.
And you got me in trouble with your fucking no room thing. Well, next time I'm going in there, I'm just saying, give me a large, medium roast coffee. Fill it to the top. Because you know what? Everybody knows what that means. Everybody knows what fill it to the top means. That's it. Then
fill it to the rim?
Fill it to the rim. Yep.
Well, then tell him that and see how that goes.
I'm going to. I'm not using your codes anymore. Your no rim and no room shit. I'm not doing that. Fuck that.
Well, I still appreciate you getting my coffee.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, good.
Terrible, though. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even believe it's just for coffee.
When I went out today, because we've been in Nevada for so long, I waved at everybody.
I know Nevada's making you, like, softer.
I waved at every person. Nobody waved back. One old lady flipped me off.
No, she did.
She did. She was a black lady taking pictures in her front yard, facing the street, all the way down by where Shockey lives, almost out. And I waved, and she flipped me off. She probably thought I flipped her off. I did not. I waved.
Oh, my God.
That was completely rude, just so you know.
Well, I got a question to ask you.
Yes.
Do you think Shopify, like, sells nudes? Like nude things? Like nude mugs?
Are you asking me if we're allowed to put nudity on our stuff and sell it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why are you asking me that?
I was just curious.
No, you're not just curious.
I'm just asking.
I don't think you're allowed to sell nudity on Shopify. You can't put boobs on a mug or a T-shirt and sell. No, I don't think you're allowed to. What are you considering? Why would you even ask that?
No, it's okay.
Okay, it's not okay. We are having a conversation after the podcast is over. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Maybe later.
That is just an off-the-wall, bizarre question.
It just ran through my mind just now. Well, actually, I've been thinking about it.
I'm wondering if you're trying to sell something or you're trying to buy something with nudity. Because it's got to be one of the two.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I'll start drawing pictures on the shower door. You never know. That's all. Just let me go.
Wow. So you're thinking I'm drawing the shower door and it has to do with nudity that we can sell on mugs. I'm trying to solve the rhythms of the universe here.
I'm more simpler.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm trying to make money.
I got a bunch of emails from our gaming stream the other night. Remember when we're doing the gaming stream, we're playing Halo,
for a little bit,
and I picked up the phone call from Jade, and it was Jev and her boyfriend asking me how to connect a gas line to his dryer.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
I'm trying to tell him, well, you got to get a T, you got to get pipe dope, you get to use compression fittings, or you got to dope the threads, and when you're done, you got to check. I got 7 emails going, tell that fucking guy to go hire a plumber.
Yeah.
They're going to both wake up dead one morning, and I got to call him back and go, just have somebody do it, because he's not going to check it. You know, it's one thing. Like if I do that stuff here, you never question what I do. If I'm doing gas lines or electrical or water, you don't run behind me and call a professional. You let me go do it. But I got to say I'm a little worried about our daughter here with this one.
Yeah, think.
Got to get a plumber involved. We'll do that. But he wanted to tie in a gas line from one to another, and I told him how to do it. Okay, you turn off the gas, get a T, go to town. Now you got a T.
I wonder if he did it.
I don't know.
But
I think he's afraid to do it. Which is good. It's good. Fear keeps you alive. So.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're way over time, but do you want to end? Do you have a car story this week? Do you have one?
I thought of one that happened to Chris Espy's shop right next to me. Remember? Yeah.
Maybe I know this one.
He was trying to work on a Mercedes, which he wasn't familiar with.
That's not his expertise.
No, not at all.
Why was he even attempting that?
I don't know. A friend, I guess. Okay. Normally, if he had customers with Mercedes and BMWs, he'd send them to me.
Tell him what he did. Tell him what the guy next door did. It's pretty unique.
He was a mechanic, a full-blown mechanic. He knew a lot about cars. He was trained as a mechanic. He had certifications, but he made his big money working for the railroad. In his shop, he had 2 railroad ties, and you guys know the trucks. the pickup trucks that drive on the railroad tracks. Yeah. They have train wheels that come down on hydraulics and they go on the track, and they have sensors and they have brushes and they have to be aligned, and everything's got to be perfect. And there's very specific rules to those trucks. And he was one of the only places in this county that worked on them. So
and it's a big train county here.
Oh yeah. So not only was he a very good, well-trained mechanic, but he mainly did the railroad stuff. BNSF, I think it was. That was the company. Anyway, so this was when he had one of his helpers there he had a helper for like a year and a half, and they were doing a transmission service on a Mercedes.
Okay.
So he pulls the pan, he drains the transmission fluid out. And the mechanic raises the hood and refills it. I learned this afterwards. So the mechanic that he had helping him takes off down the street. Didn't even make it 200 feet. And we're hearing this engine rev out there and rev and rev. And we're walking out. What the fuck is going on? There's smoke coming out from under the hood. And now everyone in the neighborhood's walking outside. And the transmission is just slipping and it won't grab. And the mechanic, what he did was he's like, okay, I obviously put the pickup tube on wrong. I put all the fluid back in it. I put 6 quarts of transmission fluid in there. It's obviously not, the pump is not pulling the fluid up into the transmission to make me go. I'm going to rev it up and we'll go. The car is barely moving. So the transmission's pulling enough fluid to barely move, which means as he's revving this thing up to $9,000 and moving very slowly about the speed of a tricycle down the street, and we're all watching this, he is smoking that transmission as he goes. He's burning it up. But he stays on it, gas pedal to the floor, blows the engine right there in the street. They tow it back. And Chris tows it to my shop. He goes, "Can you tell me what happened?"
Yeah, you blew the freaking engine.
Well, and now listen. This isn't a long walk off a short pier.
Okay.
In this particular Mercedes, and there was only a couple years that did this. When you open up the hood, there is a tube to fill the transmission, and a tube to check the oil right next to each other.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
They changed it.
Obviously.
Because the Mercedes thought, well, you'd never mix the two up because you don't fill the oil through that tube. You're checking the engine oil. It's just for checking. You pull the stick out, you check, you put the stick back in. No one would ever make the mistake of putting oil in it because that's not how you fill the engine oil. Okay. You fill the engine oil over here in the valve cover.
Obviously, that didn't work.
Well, the guy put all the 6 quarts of transmission fluid not down the transmission tube. He put them down the oil tube where you check the oil. Oh my God. So now the oil is overfilled by like 6
with transmission
fluid by 6 quarts. There's very little oil in transmission, just enough to get him out the door. He thinks that if he just keeps revving it up, it'll slowly creep its way back into the shop. So he just revs it, and finally the motor with too much oil hydrolocks and blows the motor. So when I got it in there and I took it apart over the course of a couple of days, I had to tell Chris, well, you blew the motor, and he smoked the transmission. So now Chris owed this guy in this Mercedes an engine and a transmission all in one moment.
Ouch. That's
because the guy wasn't paying attention.
Oh.
So, yeah. There you go. Now there's another story for you.
That was costly.
It was. And some people who know Mercedes can probably tell me, I don't remember which year and model it was, but yeah, there was a few years or 2 or 3 years, I think, and they had the dipsticks for both side by side. And one was yellow and one was red but you just had to be careful, and the guy wasn't careful.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely
crazy. The whole damn thing.
Alrighty.
So.
Alrighty. Heidi ho, neighbor.
Heidi ho, neighbor. How long do you think we've been on?
It's been a while. Hour 15, hour 20, something like that. Hour 30.
Well, see, now you're just guessing. And if I say you're close, you go, see, I told you.
Hour 25.
Hour 23. That's pretty damn close.
I knew it was because I'm starting to get, my back starting to bother me. I need to get up and move. That's
after your 5th yawn, then the back begins to become a problem, and we know where we're at. All right. Well, say goodnight, Gracie. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, Gracie. Good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for tuning in, wherever you're listening from, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things. Wherever you go in life, there you are. Number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out, baby.